everyone, my name is Kiki. Today I am reviewing the speech of Victoria's speech that claimed that pit bulls are naturally dangerous is false. I would like to state that pit bulls are bred by humans to become fierce, therefore pit bulls are dangerous in its nature. And I would like to go over one by one on her supporting claims. The first one was pit bulls are misrepresented in the media. I would like to say that stereotype of pit bulls are reasonable because of injuries that they have given to people. On the website msn.com, the researcher by the name of Merritt Clifton, he's an editor of the website Animals 24/7, has stated about his research. Pit bull attacks doing bodily harm in the US and Canada per year was 3,397 times, and among that deaths was 295 times, making pit bulls #1 breed that have attacked the most people. On this research, #2 was Rottweiler, who has attacked 535 times, doing bodily harm a year. So that means that pit bulls, the numbers of attacks pit bulls have done is at least more than 6 times than any other breeds. And also the same researcher has stated that pit bulls make up only 6% of dog population, but they're responsible for 68% of dog attacks and 52% of dog-related deaths since 1982. So we can see that pit bulls are, they causes the biggest number of dog-related incidents. Also on a webpage called California Breed Specific Laws, it is stated that California state laws mandate the sterilization in these countries and 15 cities, including Riverside County, San Bernardino, City of La Verne, and Fontana, whereas Chihuahua's sterilization is only mandatory in 1 city. Now, in her speech, she said that Chihuahuas and Dachshunds they often get away with their aggression. However, I would like to say that since they're smaller in the body size, they cannot do as harm to the people as pit bulls. And the laws even regulates the number, the growth of the number of pit bulls. So I would say that stereotypes of the pit bulls as bad dogs are pretty reasonable. And for her second supporting claim, the pit bull breed has good features that have been exploited by criminals. She has explained that bulldogs are family dogs and terriers are family dogs, therefore pit bulls are also family dogs. But I would like to say that pit bulls it is not evidence that pit bulls are also family dogs, because they're not bulldogs and they're not terriers. They're a mix of those breeds. In fact, pit bulls are bred to fight. According to lifescience.com, pit bulls were selectively bred for gameness, the ability to finish a fight. They were originally bred as catch dogs for hunting and attacking large animals like wild boar and for pit food. So I would say that pit bulls are bred to fight. And about the Stubby the Wall Hero that she has mentioned in her speech, I have found out that there was no evidence that Stubby the Wall Hero was a pit bull. On Washington Post, it says that Stubby, whose breed has been debated since he became famous. And also another website, todayifoundout.com, says due to the way the dog was found, it's impossible to know his exact breed. Newspapers at that time claimed he was a pit bull, and while he certainly has some features of the breed, most consider his breed to be undetermined or mixed. So I find this supporting claim invalid. Her third claim was that problematic pit bulls are the result of owner abuse rather than issues with the breed. So she has explained that the pit bulls were physically abused, and according to this website called dogbreedinfo.com, animal cruelty can result in violence towards humans. So therefore, the problematic pit bulls are the result of humans' abuse. However, I went to this dogbreedinfo.com website and found out that it was owned by a lady by the name of Sharon McGuire, who does not hold any degrees regarding to dogs. She's just a dog owner, and she's not a specialist in of dogs in any way. So she could be just anybody. So I don't think that I can trust this website. In conclusion, some dog species such as pit bulls are bred by humans to become fierce. Therefore, pit bulls are dangerous in its nature, and I am not convinced by the claim pit bulls are naturally dangerous is false. Thank you.
Okay, you lay out the claim. There's no preview what the supporting claims are going to be, but you identify them as you get to each individual point. I thought your first point was very thorough in the amount of evidence that you had to show that the risk is from pit bulls is pretty high. That one statistic that shows that they're 6 times higher than the next highest breed, Rottweilers, I think is also something that's very convincing. You've got a good statistic that says 62% of all dog-related deaths are a result of pit bulls. That, I think, makes a very powerful argument on that first point. There's not really a discussion of what the advocate's evidence on this particular point is. You've got excellent, though, counter evidence on those particular points. I don't know why you spent all the time on sterilization laws and what the rules are on this, because it doesn't really advance any position that you're taking, except that maybe you could suggest that cities and counties recognize that the dangers of these animals, and so maybe that adds a little bit of credibility to your position. Otherwise, I'm not sure why you spent the time on that. The argument on the second point concerning the way the dogs are used by criminals and the contrast to family dogs, I thought you had a good explanation about where they were originally bred, and why that creates specific problems for that breed. I think you could also go back up to the evidence that you had on the first point and refer to the high level of danger. Most family dogs are not likely, obviously, they're really extremely unlikely to cause a death. And when you made the mention at the end of the first point about Chihuahuas and Dachshunds, I think that would be one of those those things that you could point out. If you have a family dachshund or chihuahua that attacks you, it might be unpleasant. It certainly could be painful, but the likelihood of death is relatively low because that dog doesn't outweigh the baby. But, the pit bull probably outweighs most of your kids, and it's half your weight, so that's a potential danger. I think that would be a good contrasting point to make. The argument about the war hero dog, that's an interesting point to make. I don't know that it gets you that much. I think the advocate's making an emotional plea on that particular point, and you are kind of picking at it. I don't know that it helps you that much. Everything on your third point was in overtime. You went 2 minutes overtime responding on that point, and I think that's a little bit of a problem. All right, thank you.